Your phone buzzes in your pocket and, as if your brain was on autopilot, your hand reaches down and checks the notification. After a long day of school, you plop down on the couch, reach for the remote, and start binge watching Breaking Bad without even thinking about it. Why? How? Why do our brains program our bodies to do things like that? Hello everyone, my name is Birdies, and today we'll be looking into the process behind our subconscious. Why are so many of our decisions thoughtless? Let's begin. Our brains are pattern-recognizing machines, built to cram unthinkable amounts of information into our knowledge base. One of these pattern learning processes is called the habitual cycle, a simple explanation to the ways our brains develop habits. The habitual cycle is divided into 4 parts. The first step of the habitual cycle is referred to as the cue. The cue triggers the rest of the process and comes from anything that triggers a thought about an action. It can come in the form of a sight, a smell, a time, or practically anything else you can think of with the potential to cause the next step, the craving. A cue has the potential to start the next step, the craving. No, I am not referring to the cereal. The craving is, just as it sounds, a desire, subconscious or conscious, to perform an action triggered by the cue. The craving, if it's desirable enough, brings us to the next step of the habitual cycle, the response. So our brains decide to take action, to respond. We complete the action if we have the means and the energy to do so. If a response is physically or mentally impossible, obviously it can't be completed. If a response is completed and rewarding, it brings us to the final step of the habitual process, the reward. The reward is that shock of dopamine we get after opening our phones or the comfort of drinking a cool glass of water after a long summer walk. The reward, if it's gratifying enough, will solidify the process entirely. Our brains will recognize a pattern of cue, craving, response, and reward, and begin subconsciously repeating it. Let me summarize that to make it a little more bite-sized. The cue triggers the craving has the potential to trigger the response, and the response has the ability to bring an award. As our brains run through these cycles more and more, they start to become solidified in our daily behaviors. Unlike the first or second time, the behaviors take a little to no thought to process and act upon. Eventually, our brains go through this process so quickly that we don't even need to think about it. It just happens. With that being said, isn't it sad how much of our lives are driven by the subconscious mind? We are creatures of mindless habit. Do you want to be in control, or do you want to be controlled by our subconscious behavior? Personally, I'd prefer to recognize and avoid the bad, subconscious habits created by my dumb, idiot brain. Alright, so that's all I have for today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.